like Tiny said, we can shut down for the longest. So being poor and in poverty is not going to be a new condition for us. But however, we know how to survive it and overcome it. Number two, if anybody do they research, first we had the drones. Philip Standenberg just said he's seen a drone headed in the East Bay. They started with the drones where they get to spy on us to see what everybody the fuck is doing, going through the drones. He said he's seen one in the East Bay. Number two, we had the gun buyback program, which that was the propaganda to disarm us in the first place. That's a technology move to disarm us. The buyback program. Number three, this is a deliberate shutdown, not because they can't come to a decision. You mean to tell me all them sons of bitches up there in Capitol Hill that need their ass whooped, they ain't got the IQ of a head of lettuce to budget something to save people? Because it's not about that. It's about your continuance to wealth hoard, and what you're doing, this is the onset of the New World Order connected to Obamacare, connected to
thousands of so-called undocumented immigrants are here in the U.S. and how many thousands die in the border yearly? And we still we taking the lower paying jobs. We're the ones who be cleaning your bathrooms. We're the ones who putting out your garbage. We're the ones who be doing your lawnmowers. You know, for those folks who up in that middle class stage. I think that just the spirit of the people, you always find a way to survive and to. I think undocumented people, we've been dealing with this for a couple of years now. I just think that a new group of folks who unfortunately depend on the government for survival are gonna be hit, and I think it's the time that we start realizing, and I mean like real self-determined. And it's easier than done, because this government don't do shit for us. So I don't think it's gonna really have an impact. Besides the folks who rely on this government, rely on their pieces of fun.
So I feel like if it was truly a government shutdown, they would pull the troops back. They would stop prison spending. They stop weapon spending. They stop backing corporate interests. The top executives would take pay cuts, but that's not what's happening. What's happening is they're hitting services that affect the people on the very bottom. They've known they're doing this. This is what they do with their jobs and their lives every day. They go into these offices and they talk about.
Well, first of all, I want to say the politricknology of a shutdown drives me crazy, right? Because I already been shut down. With this fucking 40 million off of food stamps, for Christ's sake. My family's already starving. The crumbs the welfare gives you, they're already messed up, right? I already can't pay my rent, and like Brother Frankie said, they be practicing warfare on the backs of us houseless people for a minute. I mean, I was put in jail for the act of being houseless. Every day I walk back my brothers and sisters, Papa Bear. He's arrested because he's sitting there. So, I'm sorry, a government shutdown, I don't know if that's any fucking different than I feel right now, because my body feels shut down, okay? And the second piece about that is I do want to give a minute to the liberation theology, the liberation narrative that we are trying to walk in prensa pobre and homefulness, that we are walking without their crumbs if we really grow our own food, create our own housing, and move off the filthy crumbs. Because I ain't never got no love from government. My mama done be messed with, my grandmother done be messed with, and these false borders are a piece of shit, and these plantation prisons already done shut down my people. So, colonization, take your shit. Take it, because maybe then, my peoples, we can actually talk about liberation. And in the meantime, give me my food stamps back.
Well, I believe nothing of what they do.
Si dejan de trabajar los campesinos,
if the laborers stop working,
no comemos.
People, we don't eat.
Si dejan de trabajar los constructores de casas,
if those who construct houses, well then we have nowhere to live.
Si dejan de trabajar los maestros, pues no va a haber conocimiento. Pero si dejan de trabajar todos esos huevones que mantenemos, se va a notar que no sirven para nada.
And if the government stops working, then we're gonna all notice that they don't do anything, that they don't. So nothing's gonna change. Yeah.
Es una oportunidad para
This is an opportunity for us.
La población se dé cuenta que aunque hagan lo que hagan, ellos no sirven más que para jalar el dinero que puedan y
that
seguir
they're just there
huevoneando.
to withdraw everything they can from us.
Y yo creo que pues esto, si lo entendemos, es una oportunidad para unirnos,
And we should understand that this is an opportunity for us to come together as
para
a community,
valorarnos,
to
porque nadie es más que
validify
nadie.
ourselves, because nobody is more than nobody.
Say I go to SF State and this is the realest shit I've heard all semester. Basically, I get a full ride to San Francisco State through financial aid. So if that were to affect my financial aid, I'd be fucked because I'm a first generation college student. I'm part of the EOPS at school, extended opportunities program, to keep us first generation college student, poor people in the system. So hopefully that continues on.
My real name is Abdullah Ruiz. Doubled up on black and white, and they have a big trash truck following them to. If they gotta wake you up, they're gonna take your stuff and put it right in the truck, and they're not taking it and keeping it nowhere. I mean, you can't go recover it. They're putting it, you know, the trash truck that pushes everything up to the middle. Okay, I mean the door thing is so heavy it can crush couches and all kind of stuff. That's what they're doing. And about an hour ago, they did that to me. So I'm without again. But nevertheless, I'm used to somewhat bouncing back. But it's quite discouraging.
There's not enough resources to sustain for the human population that it is right now. So what we've seen throughout history, and those who know about, silent weapons for quiet wars, CIA and stuff, they have population control with diseases, famine, hunger and wars and stuff like that. That's what's about to take place. That is the reason behind it. So, and we see the privatization with the Monsanto food, and, the fracking and the weather control, and government, military wanting to, privatize, the usage of the weather as a weapon. And so it's going to impact us food-wise. The health, National Institutes of Health will stop accepting new patients for clinical research and stop answering hotline calls for medical questions. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention will stop its seasonal flu program and have a significant reduced capacity to respond to outbreak investigations. That's a lie, though. And then the housing, the Department of Housing and Urban Development will not be able to provide local housing authorities with additional money for housing vouchers. The nation's 3,300 public housing authorities will also stop receiving payments, although most of the agencies have enough cash on hand to provide rental assistance through the end of October. Immigration. The Department of Homeland Security will no longer operate its E-Verify program, which means that businesses will not be able to check on the legal immigration status of prospective employees during the shutdown. Law enforcement. Although agencies like the FBI and the Drug Enforcement Agency will continue their operations, the Justice Department will suspend many civil cases for as long as the government is shut down. Parks and museums. National Park Service will close more than 400 national parks and museums, including Yosemite National Park in California, Alcatraz in San Francisco. So we have a problem.